You're listening to a Midlife Less Ordinary, the weekly podcast giving you the lowdown on becoming a cool older dude. The good times are not a faded memory. It's time to start living them again. And here are your hosts, Wayne and Trev.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to this episode. And I'm Wayne and this is Trev.
I'm back and I'm good.
And today we're doing an interview with a villain, and it's all about beard clubs.
Not a real villain, just
no, God,
villain.
no, he's a rascal. He's not a villain at all. But I know
we're not talking about Aston Villa supporters either.
Oh, controversial.
yeah, we don't avoid, don't you know? But one of my cousins and uncles are Aston Villa supporters, so we don't.
Oh yeah, because you're from Birmingham, aren't they? That's all.
Because of my roots.
I wasn't going to say anything. You know what I was going to say.
No, I know what you were going to say.
But after last week's grooming episode, we did say that obviously having a beard can lead to a social life, a bigger, fuller social life. And Trev's a good example of that. And
a big social life, to be honest.
So what is a beard club, Trev?
Basically, it's exactly what it is, what it says. It's just basically a group of guys that have got together, who have got beards, that are just trying to do good in the world, really. There's loads of them about. I'm a member of the world's biggest ones, which is why you mentioned villains. It's the bearded villains. What do you know about the bearded villains? I know you know a little bit about it through me, but you know what's your take on it?
I mean, obviously, I've gone with you when you've gone to some of the meets, and I've seen the kind of brotherhood that you have. I look at it like, because obviously I'm into motorbike, I look at it like a I know it sounds a bit basic, but like a Hell's Angels without motorbikes, but a brotherhood in that kind of way.
We do actually try to kind of, although it's got a real bike club look about it, we do try to distance ourselves.
I know, yes.
Don't want to offend any of the, the Hell's Angels.
Of course, no, they're cool.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. So that's one of the things is like with the cuts and the sort of patches and stuff. We don't really encourage a lot of the kind of directly copying bike clubs and Hell's Angels, because it's a bit disrespectful, I think.
Of course, yeah, but you have the same kind of vibe in the sense of chapters.
Oh, it's the community, it is the chapters, the sort of ranking. When I say ranking, it's not like the army, but there's got to be some kind of structure in it,
of course,
just for the organisation.
Yes,
that's the thing.
So you're a member of the Bearded Villains, which is the one I know that you enjoy and you're actively involved in.
I'm also a member of the British Beard Club, which is a lot more of a general beard club. Again, like there is meets and there is a social side of it, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not as I'm trying to think of the right word here, as complex, if that makes sense.
Yes,
it's a lot more kind of looser. But yeah, the guys I've met in that, I know a lot of the villains. It's the only club you can actually be in if you are a bearded villain as well. You can't, the villains, you can't be in another beard club. There's various other ones like the Bearded Bad Boys and the Viking Beard Club. You can't be a member of all of them.
There's a big kudos involved, isn't there, with being a member of the villains, isn't there, from what I can see?
Yeah, there is, Again, all of a sudden, in the last 4 or 5 years, beards have become very fashionable. And then you've got TV shows like Sons of Anarchy that have really kind of made that kind of lifestyle kind of very household. People, for something that was quite underground, it does kind of is a lot more in vogue now. So there's a template of that. A lot of people obviously think it's cool, which again it is. I'm a fan of Sons of Anarchy. I know I'm a bit controversial because it is just like a man's soap opera, a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. But a lot of guys and girls love it, which I can see it, and it is really, and I really do enjoy it. I have enjoyed it, but it's not Shakespeare.
No. You wouldn't want to go if it was, would you? No.
Not everything has to be, so it doesn't matter. As long as it's entertaining. Yeah, it's got some really good music in as well. Yeah. I think the only thing I thought when I first watched Sons of Anarchy was I just didn't think they looked like real bikers, but they grew into it.
Well, you wouldn't want to be sitting with your spiced rum watching Hamlet, really, would you, on a Saturday night after work?
I've done
Oh,
that.
sorry, Trev. I wasn't saying you was uncultured or anything, but
sounded like it.
Totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. So,
there's a man who spent half his Christmas period watching Van Damme.
And Scott Adkins. Don't forget Scott Adkins.
Yeah, he's had Scott.
It's about time he grew a beard, actually, only for Boyka. But is his beard long enough to get in the villains?
No, 40 mil. That's the a guy you know and I know from our gym days come up with a really good idea, because one of the actual things about being a bearded villain is your beard has to be at least 40 mil long, and long goatees don't count. It has to be a full beard.
Is there an actual measurement? So 40 mil, 40
mil is,
excuse my ignorance,
the requirement.
Is that the length, not the thick?
The length of it. And most chapters have got like kind of cards they give out when they want to kind of recruit new guys. I do that a lot. When I started in 2017 with the Essex guys, the Essex chapter, which I'm the co-captain of. Well, I've got like Jimmy, who's a very good captain. I've got a really good team around me. Jimmy's our captain. Wes is our scout. We get on really well. The rest of the guys. But when I joined, there was only 10 of us. Me and another guy, Martin from Southend, joined together. And that shows you how different people are in the bearded villains and
how diverse it is.
Yeah. So I'm a shop manager, and Martin, the guy I joined with the same day, I met him at the train station before we went to our first meet. He's an armed response guy in the Metropolitan Police in London, and he's also 6'7". He said, "You won't miss me," and I could see the top of his head when the train pulled in. Martin, and again, that's one good thing about like a beard club or the bearded villains, is you get to meet lots of different people.
You wouldn't necessarily meet under any other circumstances.
Really, it was quite bizarre, I'll admit, for my first meet. We got there, I got on really, sort of hit it off with Martin really straight away on the train, and there was 11 of us in the Essex guys then. And a couple of honorary members. Obviously, if you move, you can still be a member of the town or the area you're in. But a lot of guys relocate and join because obviously we all know each other virtually. You become, like if you were to move to Birmingham, you could become a member of the Central England guys. You can move. Yeah. And we got there and there was like sort of 8-9 other guys. I'd never met these guys before, and all we had in common was we had a longer than 40 mil beard. But it was really, again, I seem to hit it off with the guys sort of just straight away. And it's gone from there. It's taken me sort of everywhere. I've been to Amsterdam twice, which is like a massive meet, Beardsterdam. I've been to Edinburgh, which was Edinbeard. A lot of the London big meets they have, like in kind of Camden Way and that, which I'm familiar with. That's where you came up that day.
Yes.
We went to the concert after.
Oh, it looked like great fun, to be honest.
It is. It's...
and I know you think a lot of the guys, your brothers that you've met through the
we call
as well.
each other brothers, the brotherhood. And like we basically, obviously with the sort of the state the world's in at the moment with COVID, we can't make meets and stuff. But it's just so we keep in contact day to day and during the week. We use sort of social media, Instagram, Facebook, but we use like chat rooms to discuss stuff and have a laugh. So
the vibe's still going.
Community. Yeah, exactly. But
Trev, if I wanted to join the villains and I looked, I got my tape measure out. I've got a 40 mil beard,
41.9
to be exact. I mean, that's instead of this kind of George Michael 1984 stubble that I've got going on, but that wouldn't qualify. But
cash,
it's exactly. But how did you get involved? How do I get to
basically join? If you've got a decent length beard or something, someone like myself or Wes or Jimmy or another member that's been there will give you a card asking you to look into the Instagram. You've got to have a social media presence. You've got to use Instagram or Facebook via Instagram's the one. Then you look it up, see what you think. Got the card, it gives you the details and to get in contact. That card will give you a contact for the scout, and he'll put you through it. Then you get put into like a little hopeful chat where you get to know a lot of the other guys that are wanting to join. And then once you've met certain criteria, you've been to a few meets, and your Instagram, your social media presence is quite good, you get put in the main rooms, the worldwide room, the European room. The good thing about a lot of the chat rooms is if you've got any interest as well, a lot of the guys I've got very similar interests. There's video game rooms, so you can talk about that. You've got the sort of film rooms, you've got motorbike rooms,
cool.
Everything, whatever you're into, there is probably a villain that's into it as well will invite you into a room.
So did I hear that right, Trev? Did you say it's basically invite only? So you have to have a presence and you get invited?
Yeah, you do. You get exactly, by a card. The way I did it was a strange way. I was already using social media and Instagram, and I saw the Bearded Villains logo. I didn't know anything about it. I just thought the logo looked cool. So I posted this logo, like every chapter, like the Central Midlands guys, the Essex guys have got a sort of a skull mascot called Bucky, which one of our members was kind enough, his daughter was kind enough to design for us. We do a lot of merchandise with that kind of thing on. I'll discuss that in a minute because I'll cover the charity work. But yeah, I posted this picture, and the captain then messaged me. Someone must have seen it and got in contact with him, or he saw it, I can't remember, and said, like, that's our logo. It's sort of trademarked kind of thing. Unless you're in the villains, you're not supposed to post it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take it down, mate. I had no problem. I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I've looked at your profile, and like, your beard is long enough if you're interested in joining. So he invited me into the line chat, and basically I just went from there. Went to our first meet, and a little couple of months later, and that's how it sort of went. We have different kind of meets, where some meets are just like a few beers, with your T-shirts and your patches on your jacket and stuff like that. Then you've got the sort of dapper meets we do. I think it was the Danish or one of the Scandinavian meet groups. They, because we got flags and stuff. That's what it is, a flag called a black flag, which you're allowed to raise when you become a villain. Wow. Basically all our chapters have got our own coloured flag, but you have to have a certain amount of members, which is another rank up in the villains, to get one. And basically once you've got that black flag, you're kind of in.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, man. Sorry,
no, I was just going to say, I remember seeing a video. I think it was one of the villains' main central meets. I don't know if that's Birmingham or something. And there was hundreds and hundreds of guys walking through city centre. The Amsterdam one's the biggest one. I think the one that you may have seen was the Coventry one, or was the Birmingham one. What we do is we went to Edinburgh Castle for one. They didn't let us use it, so we had to use it around the corner. Something to do with the royal family's flag, I believe it was. But yeah, going back to the meets with the flags, I think it was the Danish guys or one of the Scandinavian chapters went to like a historical place where they were, and they had a dapper meet. So they're all dressed up, all black and white, looking very smart,
smart, very smart. Of course, the flags are black and white and like various other darker colours. And of course, a passerby reported them to the police. Saying that like there was looked like a terrorist group. Because obviously the first thing people think of is when they see a group of guys with big beards, they normally think of terrorists.
I think of ISIS or something, yeah. Exactly.
And basically the police came down. It made the national news over there.
Oh, wow.
Which was I know they say there's no bad publicity, but I don't know about that. But so the flags are a big thing. We have like flag shoots. So we go, as I said, we went to Edinburgh Castle. They wouldn't let us use it because of the royal family's signature flag or something. But yeah, it creates that kind of cool vibe when we're all together with our flags and stuff. Yeah,
it's some sight when you see these guys together.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice way of, once you've got the pictures, looking back on it. It looks organised.
Yes. Oh, he certainly does. Yeah.
Thing. One of the biggest things as well with the villains is doing stuff for their local communities and charity. We try to do a lot. We do sort of homeless runs. Just now for Christmas, obviously, we couldn't go out like giving homeless bags out to the homeless guys in our towns. We normally pick different towns for different years. So basically, we just got a load of kind of homeless wash bags together, which had flannels in, toothbrushes, socks, blankets. And I think we got about 30 of those in a box and delivered it to Harp, our local. But we raise a lot of money where we can through merchandise. One of the biggest things a lot of the villain guys are into it are patches they sew on their jackets and stuff. So, you know, it looks like a belonging. And some of those, there's an auction room, and some of those go for like mega money for charity, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's a
charity
nice way of giving back. I think one thing about villains, especially as the biggest beer club in the world, is you only get out what you put in. Yeah, if that makes sense. You meet lots of great people. You can do a lot through it, which is one of the reasons I got involved.
I mean, obviously, it's not cult. It's not like Masonic Lodge or anything. But
I suppose people would see it as a distance. It does look like a bike club. It does look a bit, but I think it just goes with the image because obviously, having a big beard, it looks a bit tough. A lot of us are covered in tattoos, so it does give off that image.
It's why it's important to tell people that the charity work that they do, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing as well. You can never judge a book by its cover. You know, they're some of the nicest guys I've ever met in my lifetime are bearded villains.
Yeah, of course, and some famous people, Trev, as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we've had some famous people back in the in the times. That's the thing. The charity thing for me and our chapter and most of our chapters is the biggest thing. It's just about giving back.
Yes,
that's the whole thing. It's like the respect of it.
Do you organise? Is that organised on a regional basis then, Trev? So you're doing charity work in Essex, basically?
Yeah, basically. We like to keep. Obviously, we would do it for any kind of charity, but we like to sort of keep it because it is an Essex chapter. So we like to keep it a bit more localised. But it's up to them. I've been involved with the villains since 2017 now.
Is it that long? Is it?
Yeah, 2017. There's obviously various. You're a hopeful first, then you become your villain, which is your main kind of rank, and then you've got like a member, you've got a loyal. They all come with it once you've actually done certain things in the club. I was lucky enough to be offered the co-captain mantle as well. Then you can get a scout's rank as well, which is if you scout enough people to become a villain when they become. It is strange when you approach people, and obviously people will approach you as well. But when you say, you go up to like a random stranger with a card and say, you got a cool beard fella, take this. This is like a card about joining the bearded villains. And they're like, what's that? And it's like, because I think a lot of people seem to think that all we do is get together and sit there and talk about beard oil, beard butter. But obviously you do, because if someone has got a cool beard, they'd be like, well, hold on, what use on that? And there is a little.
I mean, the World Train Spotting Society. I'm sure they talk about trains at some part of it.
I bet they do. I bet they look and they think, look at the buffers on that one. I would have thought that comes up. That's the thing. But I think to the outside world, I think people would find it a bit not strange, but.
Well, I've been with you when you've scouted somebody before, and I think we had quite a few non-alcoholic beverages, and you approached somebody. He was over the moon that you asked. I think he's talking to us all night. I don't know. Is he a member now?
I think you're talking about Dan. Yeah, Dan's in now.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that's a couple of years ago. It's got to be 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was his. Yeah. Dan's got the most epic beard you'll ever see. You don't have to have an amazing beard, as long as you've got over the 40 mil and stuff, then that's it it's not like a grooming picky thing. But say that
your wives are involved as well, Trev, aren't they? You're allowed to some of the not with growing beards, but
no, but there's other sections as well. Some of the girls are in the Queens. There's the Villainettes as well. They come to meets and stuff.
What's the difference, Trev, between them two? The Queens and
basically, the Queens. Most of the Queens are like the girls that are married or partners of a bearded villain.
Yeah.
And the Villainettes are girls that just sort of like guys with
the
beards
culture.
And, yeah, exactly. So, again, they don't get left out, which is good. It's again, that's the whole social side of it.
It's quite inclusive, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
But sorry, Trev. So if somebody's listening, they can't actively approach somebody who's a villain, for example, and with a view to joining. Could they approach somebody and say, look, my beard's 50 mil. I think it's quite cool. I want to grow it more. I want to be social. I'm in Essex. Can they do that?
You don't have to be. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. I think what I'm saying is you can't just
sign up online and just become a villain.
No. There's got to be a certain amount of commitment. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to be a bearded villain," and start hashtagging and like buying the merch and stuff like that. Obviously, the charity merch anyone can buy that we do, because obviously that goes to charity. But some of the ranked patches and stuff, you've got to kind of sort of earn. It was all started basically where it started was it was a beard model guy in Los Angeles. He come up with the idea of the bearded villains of the community, and it just grew from there. I don't know if obviously back in donkeys years ago there was probably beard clubs that existed, because obviously through the eons of time people have had beards, and there probably was a thing. But the villains is the biggest one.
They come along and done it better, basically. But
it's very organised. It's very kind of it's very well run. It's not some sort of flaky kind of get a newsletter every 6 months and then don't see one for another year. It's very.
I mean, I've seen the merchandise as well, Trev, that obviously you wear, and it's good. It's good, to be honest. Can anyone buy the merchandise?
Well, you can off the site, the main site, and obviously the charity T-shirts we do. You could obviously buy them, but I don't really see the point in guys without a beard wearing a bearded villains T-shirt.
No,
it doesn't really make no sense.
I wondered why I'd never get one for Christmas.
This is I just keep your one.
He might grow one next year.
Exactly. So I don't see the side of that, but the charity stuff and that, you could buy that because it's obviously going to a good cause. You wouldn't want to stop
exactly charity,
like a homeless
people
charity
want to donate,
or a cancer charity. Getting, so I'm just partaking in like a 26-mile. Run a marathon in a month thing, I'd like to. I obviously will include that on the Essex Bearded Villain site, because again, it's something else that we're doing for the community. It's a prostate cancer one, but that's again, it's all about. You find that once you get involved with the charity work through the villains, you tend to kind of gravitate to doing it off your own back as well, if that cause sort of fits your lifestyle. Because I don't mind a bit of a run now and again. That was the next thing.
Exactly.
It was just, So So you've been around it a little bit with me, so you know what it's about to a certain degree.
I think it looks great. Yeah, he looks. If I had a beard, I'd want to be in the Bearded Villains.
And we encourage people to want to join. We have quite a few guys that have been in the services that have joined up, and as I said before earlier on in this conversation. There's a lot of different people in different walks of life. There's policemen, there's army guys, there's security guys, every walk of life, which is good because it gives, because obviously we raise money that has to be looked after. Obviously we have to keep an eye on the tax of stuff and that. So, you've got people that are no accountants or are accountants that have, so if you've got a skill set, there's always a way of using it in the Bearded Villains. If that's that, because I do a lot of the merchandise for the Essex guys, which is really cool. Sometimes it's because obviously I'm a bit older than some of the guys, so my taste might be a bit different to what those. But again, we all have a vote on it in the chat rooms, and we all kind of get together, and there's no kind of, the thing is, as I said to you before, it's all about getting out what you put in and leaving your ego behind.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is the same about life anyway. In general, it's like, you leave your ego at the door, mate, and you'll enjoy it.
Enjoy the friendship and the relationships you make along the way.
The community of it, the brotherhood. No egos involved.
Whilst doing some good, what else could you want?
That's exactly.
Well, is there a demographic age-wise, Trev, really?
No, not at all. Some of the young guys are in their early 20s, and even younger than that. I think, I don't know who the youngest member of the Essex chapter is. Early 20s, and lucky enough, I'm not the oldest in our chapter. Mark will thank me for that. He's a year older than me. I was until Mark joined, which was good. I look younger than Mark anyway. Mum, he won't mind me.
Is there many older ones, Trev, or middle-aged guys?
Yeah, there's a few guys a little bit older than me. Age doesn't really come into it. I say I'm really good friends with all the guys, and none of them look at. And again, you get that kind of older uncle figure, if that makes sense. Yeah. There becomes that when you socialise with guys, there comes that order that just sorts itself out, if that makes sense. Yeah. It possibly keeps me younger, knocking about with these guys every now and again, having a few beers and learning from them, and hopefully they kind of learn from me in other ways.
You're like the Master Yoda now, Trev.
Well, no. Well, I'll take that. The bearded Yoda. The bearded Yoda of the Essex villains. I'll go along with it.
The wise one,
The wise one. Well, yeah. Well, this is it. That's the thing, you got guys from all those age.
Have I overstated that now? I should have gone sort of more Mace Windu or something.
Well, again, we've already slagged.
We've done Star Wars. Yeah, sorry.
We've slagged all that down. So we don't really want to bring that back.
We don't want to be anyone from that one, no.
No.
And also, Trev, I remember you went to Miami some time ago. Did you meet up with some guys there when you was there?
I wanted to, but again, like typical when you go on holiday, I talked to a lot of them. I spoke to a lot of the Miami guys before I went, and they seem quite up with it. But like anything, when you go on, you think you're on holiday, and so you've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
But you kind of forget that some of the
they're working.
Guys you want to meet, they're working. So you want to go full on party on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I've got to get up for work in the morning, fella. And so a lot of the guys, one of the guys from the Canadian chapter come over a little while ago, and a lot of the guys, I couldn't make that, I was doing something else, but a lot of the guys went and met him in London and stuff, and made him I'm really good friends with him through some of the communications we've had. It's a very, very giving thing. You'll send some of your patches over to them, they'll send some of yours over to you. The whole kind of the vibe like that, like sharing, is great.
Yeah.
That's a real positive from it. It really is, And again, it helps in everyday life, If a guy's like Jay, one of our guys, is a roofer, so if people say to you, do you know any good roofers? And obviously you've met decent guys through the villains, so you'd be like, more likely to recommend them because you know those guys.
Of course, you want somebody you can trust, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying it's like the sort of Masons, but you
but you would do that in your normal life. People your friends, you would go to first, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because you sort of know them. You've got to know them, and that is a good thing. So, in all walks of life, that's how to get through it. I think that's a definite. It's a building bonds. That's the whole thing. The bonding of it is great.
Yeah, the bonding and what you end up giving back, it overrides every other misconception that's
definitely
given about it.
Definitely.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you've got that across. To be honest, hopefully,
I'd like to think so. There's no bad words to say about it at all.
If anyone's got any preconceived ideas, which we know that happens because of the reasons we said at the start of this, hopefully this has dispelled that, and you can see that the good these guys do.
Think it has. Yeah, and I say if anybody wants to get involved, chuck us a message on our website. I'll answer it and point you in the right direction. If you want to join your local chapter, if you've got a beard long enough, I'll put you in touch with the right people.
Brilliant.
And then you can get on the journey that I've enjoyed. So
that's brilliant, Trev. Yeah, I'm sure people would appreciate that. Yeah, you can go to our website. There's a blue badge on the website homepage where you can leave a voicemail through your phone. Leave us a message. You don't even have to type. That's how lazy we've made it for you. We like lazy.
So you've got no excuses. Really
no excuses not to leave a message. And the best ones we might play on one of the podcasts. We'll go through them if it fits in with what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be fun, man.
But go to the website anyway. There's plenty of information on there. We'll put some pictures of Trev's beard on there. And if
I think there's one on there already, isn't there?
I think you'll be able to find it easy enough. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
But that's
www. The whole website might be covering the whole website.
It's that big. It would.
It's that big, yeah.
It's www.amlopodcast.com. Everything's linked to that. We've got a blog on there for all the episodes. Please get involved. We want to give back and basically leave us some ideas of what you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity of kind of getting across what the Villains is about. The Bearded Villains.
I'm glad. I think you've done that, Trev, and I know how important it is to you and the work that you guys put in.
It's a big part of my life.
I hope people can take from it now and say take away them preconceived ideas. If they be positive.
If they were somewhere where there was a meet going on, they saw a load of guys with tattoos and big beards and patches on their jackets and stuff, they wouldn't think, let's avoid them. They think, yeah, exactly. No, hopefully they don't. Hopefully they think, that's them, those Bearded Villains that I heard on the podcast. They're decent fellas. That pre-thing, that's
preconceived idea. Yeah, you have. I think you've done that, Trevor. I know because I know you. I obviously had the right idea about it anyway. And I see how much you get out of doing it. So I know that. But I can see why other people. We do have these notions of people looking a certain way. But there's so basically, Trevor's basically covered it all. But if you want to be involved. There's an opportunity there to get spotted and go through this probation, and basically, which sounds like fun in itself. It's if I could grow one, I'd do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be scared of the promotion. It's all about having fun.
That's what I mean. It's fun.
Try to get across to a lot of the lads and stuff who are joined, and they're a bit worried because they want to get on with people. And they want to do this. They want to make it fun first, and then it'll all click into place. That's the whole thing. Enjoy it first, let it come to you, get yourself involved, and then it'll form itself, because it did for me. That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
Well, I think you can tell from that it's cool to be a member of a beard club, the Villains, the British Beard Club, any kind of club. And I'm sure we'll talk about different kinds of clubs along the way. None of it's bad. If you're getting something from it, it's always going to be a positive thing. Adds to your life.
Meeting different people, it does. Yeah, it really does. That's a big thing.
I really appreciate your input on that, Trev. I think you've really done a good job in promoting it in a positive fashion.
I'd like to think that the guys obviously think I've done a good job of talking about it and getting it across to the general public who listen to this. Is there a website people can go to for merchandise or anything, Trev, if they've got a beard, obviously? You've got the main Bearded Villain site. To me, the best way to do it is check out the main Bearded Villain site, see what it's all about, and then IG or Facebook, preferably IG, because that Instagram, that seems to be the way we work it a lot more, is scout where you are locally and find the scout or the captain or the co-captain and message them. So basically on our Instagram page, we've got the links to who are the main guys in it. So if you message them, they're pointing in the right direction. As I say, even if you're a guy from Bristol or something and you're listening to this, you think, I'll approach, because I know Trev does this podcast, go to him, and then I'll point you in the right direction of where the guys from Bristol who want to join the local Bearded Villains, I'll put them in touch with the guys.
There you go.
Sort that.
A very generous offer, Trev. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. That's
brilliant. Thanks very much for joining us on this episode.
Yeah, it's been great again.
Excellent. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep, look forward to it.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a rating and review and visit our website at www.amlopodcast.com to check out all the links and resources in the show notes. Start living them good times. See you next time.